Now, we all know that our city is facing an affordable housing crisis and widening income inequality. But one of the unrecognized obstacles to tackling those issues is credit. Too many low-income New Yorkers are hurt by low credit scores. A shocking number of people have no credit scores at all. And it hurts New Yorkers, especially those who are low income, in their pocketbooks. So we are here today to announce a bold new solution. We are unveiling a new proposal to make New York the first city to allow residents to use their rent check towards their credit score on a mass scale. I want to explain the how and the why. Your credit score is not just a number. A low score causes high payments on everything from credit card bills to cell phones. In fact, a person with a poor credit score and a $20,000 car loan will pay $3,600 more than someone with a higher score over the life of that loan. A low score means you're going to pay more over the lifetime of that loan. So when it comes to people's wallets, the credit score matters. And those that are most impacted are the people who struggle. Now, we did an analysis to understand credit score breakdowns throughout the 5 boroughs. We used unreleased proprietary data from Experian, and the data shows wide and alarming disparities, especially in communities with low credit scores. African American and Hispanic New Yorkers account for more than 90% of the population with low scores. NYCHA tenants comprise 1 in 10 residents. And that demonstrates that credit score is a reflection of our city's broader income inequality. It shows that if you're low income, the deck is stacked against you. So the question is, how are we going to unstack the deck? Well, we can't keep doing the status quo, which is doing nothing. Today, we are proposing a common sense answer, one that no big city has ever offered in mass scale. Tenants should have the choice to make their rent count toward their credit score. Right now, that's a punitive tool. Landlords, bill collectors, they're already using credit reporting to threaten tenants who fall behind. But the problem is renters are not getting credit for being on time. They're not being credited when they pay their rent, as most do, responsibly. We got to correct this imbalance. And we want New Yorkers to have the option to use rental payments to build their credit scores if they choose. Now, as controller, you know I got to run the numbers. And we did. I heard that. 94% of people who would opt in, 94% would see an increased credit score or no change at all. 94%. The roughly 1 in 5 New Yorkers currently without a credit score would get one for the first time. And it would be a good score, over 700. And that shows that applying rent to your credit score can be a game changer for people across this city. Access to credit cards, loans, increased financial freedom, the ability to refinance a student loan or start a small business, more dollars for New Yorkers to support their kids and build their families. This would be a difference maker. So we're going to take some next steps to make this a reality. Now, first, the Comptroller's Office will be launching a working group to bring stakeholders together. Banks have a role to play by potentially alerting credit bureaus once a rent check clears. Landlords can commit, and they should, to starting opt-in programs that would share data with credit bureaus, and they can use existing software. Consumer and housing advocates have a very important voice. There are real paths forward, so that we're going to bring people together to plot a path forward and make this happen. NYCHA residents should be able to build credit through their rent if they choose. Affordable housing developers must offer rent reporting programs. Now, this software already exists. I want to see the Department of Consumer Affairs develop credit-building curriculums that assist renters with opt-in reporting programs. We need to educate people on their options and help renters understand what's at stake. Now, when I was a kid growing up in Washington Heights, I remember the one bank we had in our community. This neighborhood back then was actually redlined. We didn't even know what an ATM card was because they didn't exist. People literally, federal officials literally took maps and marked Washington Heights in red ink. They told lenders the people in the community I grew up were too risky to lend to. The neighborhood was kept at the bottom of the economic ladder. Well, failing to give working people credit where credit is due is the new redlining. People should get credit for paying the rent, just like people get credit scores for taking out a $2 million mortgage. We punish people when they miss even one payment, but we never credit people for paying on time. And that's why I believe it's on us to make New Yorkers the possibility for economic success. We spend a lot of time in this city discussing how we lift up people. But the real solution is to create economic opportunity that leads to wealth creation. Credit enhancement is one of the best ways we can solve inequality. And I am so proud today, that we stand with an extraordinary coalition of advocates, activists, clergy, and New Yorkers who understand that we have to begin to create new wealth in our city.